my friend and I had booked to do the Milford Track. That was our piece de resistance for getting through. But not before we had arranged to go straight to a job at Hanmer Hospital. And this was a very exciting part of our career, because Hanmer Hospital had not been open to physiotherapy for many years. It had originally been a neurological hospital and psychiatric hospital, to the extent that even my own father, after the First World War, was sent there for recuperation. Anyway, we went to Hanmer Hospital. No other physios were there, well, except a part-time, very elderly lady called Cora Wilding. Now, she will be coming through in your history, I'm sure. Famous Canterbury family. So we were introduced to Cora, who had been trying to do some of the physiotherapy there on a part-time basis. She was a rather elderly lady in our eyes, but she also liked to paint, and her brother was one of our early representatives in the tennis world at Wimbledon. Now, so it was left to my friend Betty Hare and I to open up this physiotherapy department, which, to our surprise, looked almost brand new, and it had been built by the Americans during the war for recuperation for the army, and especially perhaps for their own American army personnel who came down here to recuperate. They had every machine under the sun. All the plinths, equipment looked very new, so we felt as if we were king of the castle for a while. We boarded at the hospital, not in the nurse's home, but at an annex house close by. And of course, at that time it was summer, and we played tennis a lot, and golf, and really enjoyed the first 6 months until the snows came, when it was very cold. Also, we felt it was time to move. Both Betty and I had planned to go to England to get jobs there. But in the meantime, we had an urgent call from the physio in Greymouth to say she hadn't been relieved for a year. Could one of us come over and give her 2 weeks' holiday? So we talked about this, and I said, yes, I would go. And we had actually handed in our resignation at Hanmer after 6 months. What cheek. And we were our next move was to go to Westport Hospital, who had, once again, because this is really post-war years, the Westport Hospital, then known as Buller Hospital, had no physios for many years at all. So Betty went on to Westport Hospital while I did the 2 weeks at Greymouth to give this other physio a holiday. And then we both were functioning once again at Westport. And we opened up a dingy little department there. But of course there were an awful lot of damaged miners coming down from the mines. And we soon got absorbed into the community. When you live at nurses' homes, you soon get to know all the staff. And actually we enjoyed our time in Westport very much. That was really the end of my working time in New Zealand, although I did a locum later at Napier, which was my hometown, while I was waiting to get married and to go overseas. I met my husband in Westport. He was doing a practice up at Denniston. You don't even know where that is, probably. Well, it's a coal mining town quite near Westport, up in the mountains at the back. It was a government medical practice, and he was doing, for a friend, he was doing a kind of locum for him. And we met at a hospital party, needless to say. We were always having parties on the West Coast. So we met and fell in love, and eventually got married the following year. Went off to England, London, where I worked.